Okay. Okay. Should be good, yeah. Should be good. Okay. Oh, it's good. Perfect, one might say. Oh, whoops. Okay. To do that. Okay. I mean, not really much to talk about in terms of getting caught up, right? Not really a whole lot to talk about. Kind of talked to, well, I mean, I guess in the juice box, kind of talked about this potential short up here. So if we took that, shout out to you. Not exactly the greatest move, but we discussed not expecting a whole lot, sitting here most likely the whole weekend. And in terms of the 382, right? You know what, yesterday we had a poor low here, and I was thinking maybe we'd come down and kind of clean it and go, but we didn't have another poor low behind, so curious to end up coming back down to get that thing. But we are seeing some signs of life so far, right? Holding on to the 382, pixel perfect. Also doing a bit of like a head and shoulders here, like double bottoming here. So let's see if we can actually go, right? Can we actually break this level up here or not? We're not. We're not. Kind of need to look at some of this data, see what's going on. Can imagine there's a whole lot though. Not gonna be a particularly long stream, probably getting off in like hour and a half, 2 hours. But I figured, you know what? We're up. We ate our lunch. Let's kind of work on finishing these notes, reviewing our trading notes for the year. We're gonna be here. Might as well just toss on the stream. Maybe we get a breakout, right? Maybe we get some volatility. Volatility. Yeah, this alarm. Fuck. So I need to charge my phone. We'll leave that thing in the other room. See if we can nerd out for the next hour and a bit. So do I have alarms set? We do, okay. But yeah, it didn't seem like we missed a whole lot. Didn't seem like we missed a whole lot in terms of the data. interesting. There's like a pretty big hype unlock soon, isn't there? I believe there's a pretty big hype unlock coming here soon. Damn. God damn. Bum. Shout out to the motherfucking math boy. Boy. I never log into the exchange. Fuck, I need to get my phone. Fuck. And even though there's not really much to do in that regard, but might as well have it open just in case, right? Log into these bitches just in case. God damn. Got my fucking damn, boy. Okay. Okay. So let me stand my ass up. Tired of sitting down, goddamn. God damn. inserts. Partial Yo, Harshal, my boy, my boy, my boy. Shout out to Harshal. Did you ever win that hackathon or what? Or were they smoking on Harshal pack at the hackathon? That is awfully low. Bum bum. Oh man. Missed you. Missed you too, man. I mean, I've been streaming for a while though. I've been streaming for like, how long has it been? I've been back for a little bit. Not during the day though. I've been streaming during the day. 2 weeks or so. 3 weeks, I guess, almost. 1, 2, 3, 12, 16, 20. Yeah, it's the 20th stream. How's life? Pretty good. Pretty good, the usual. How's life over there? Can't complain. Actually, yeah, I can. I can fucking complain, actually. Fuck this shit. No, I have like, it's probably hard to tell on the camera. But I have like Invisalign. It's kind of these like clear braces essentially. It's a bit annoying to have that on. Cause you can't like close your mouth properly. It's like a little mouth guard essentially. But I don't have it for that long, so whatever. Could be worse. Could have worse problems than that. Just a bunch of dentist stuff going on, basically. I had a tooth pulled. They got some pliers and just ripped that shit out of my mouth. Ripped it out. But yeah, aside from that, no big deal. Nothing's going on. Just the usual thing, right? Nerding out, grinding. Had a good time at home seeing my friends and family. But until Christmas, we're locked in. Juicing. Fire. Fire, always fire. It's always fire over here. I'm locked in too. Got a part-time job to fund trading. Nice, what are you doing? So why does it look like there's like a halo glowing on the camera? What is going on here? Discord. Oh, I think you mentioned that before. I remember you mentioning that. Who pays for that though? Like, what Discord do you even moderate that they pay people to do that? Or is it some like job that like Discord or the company itself has to just like moderate random channels or something? Yeah, what? Oh, it's someone's channel. Interesting. I'm surprised they don't just have some like bot doing it, right? Some LLM to do it for free. If I was you, I would just set up a bot to do it for you, so you're literally doing nothing. And I'd do it in multiple channels at that point. Harshal can become a global Discord moderator, locking down all the channels. $21 a week? What is that? Like 3 hours a day? That's a lot. That's a lot. 180 a month is enough where I live. Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't look at it that way, right? I wouldn't look at it that way, because you can make a lot more than that pretty easily. Especially because, like, you say you're like doing like computer science, right? Like there are people that like pay people to do their assignments for them, kind of thing. You probably would make more than doing that, for example. Whatever, like each to their own. The only thing I'm saying is like don't limit yourself with the idea of like, oh, it's enough for where I live. For all you know, you could be making like fucking 10 grand a month, right? 20 grand, 30 grand, 100 grand at a young age. And then Harshal be the king, right? Shout out to you though. Shout out to you, right? On the grind, on the trading grind, on the working grind. Bro, CS is glorified so much. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But I can imagine like it probably feels that way nowadays, right? Well, I don't know actually. Cause like sure, people can use like Anthropic, like the Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT, etc. But you still have to know what you're doing. 14K a year in dollars. That's pretty low. Pretty low. But the thing about that kind of job is that like as long as you know English, you can like work anywhere digitally, right? So you can get like a job for like a German company or like Australian company, so on and so forth. And they probably pay a lot better than that. Cause like where I live, for example, like if you work at like a tech startup as like a software engineer, probably making like high 5 figures, 6 figures. And that's like at a startup. We're not even talking about like working at like Google or Microsoft. Very few companies want to hire Indians now because of H1B. JDs are remote. What's a JD? Junior dev, I guess. Or something. Yeah, but yeah, they have been cutting down a lot on that. Because people are just complaining, right? It's like... Like, there's nothing like wrong with hiring people from the outside, but like people were abusing it. Like instead of just hiring like a U.S. citizen for like 100 grand a year, they would like hire like the equivalent from another country on an H1B for like 60 grand a year. So like all the people that were like getting education here are just not getting jobs, right? Job description. Oh, I see. I mean, I don't know if the country you're in is just that bad though. I mean, I've never been. You know better. But it seems like there's always some kind of problem wherever you go, right? Nowhere's really perfect. But yeah, some places are definitely better than others. We'll say that. There's like a ranking at the end of the day, regardless of all the imperfection that exists. But I thought there was like I forgot where you said you're from exactly. I think you're like in India, right? Isn't there like some pretty big like hubs there that are like very modern, high-paying kind of thing? Like a shit ton of like Indian billionaires live there, etc. Because also like you guys have some pretty like very notable schools as well, right? And if you look at like the leaders of all the big tech companies, they're all Indian. Like from that region. Very rare companies pay good pay package. Hmm. I guess it would make sense why everyone goes to the US in that case then. Bum, bum, bum. Big tech Indian companies go to SF, make their office base there. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, at least you know, right? At least you have your plan then. Got your plan laid out. Something most people don't. I trust in God and myself. Hopefully it will work out. Hmm. I mean, if you really sit down and think about it, things have already worked out for you, right? You're not like starving to death in poverty, family dying, etc. Everything else is just kind of bonus, icing on the cake. It's good to have goals though, right? Aspire to do big things. So we still have to make the Harshal fund, right? Harshal Hedge Fund. HHF. Harshal High Frequency Trading Hedge Fund. Yeah, I've been looking into that. I'm looking into that. Like, out of curiosity, I want to do like a market making. Hmm. Have like a bot that market makes. But I don't know it's something particularly useful endeavor. Bum, 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 bum. At least it's not as useful as just algorithmic trading. Why don't you try opening a fund? I've considered it. I'm definitely considering it. But like, you have to do like not anyone can. You can't just open a fund, right? It can't just be some random guy off the fucking street who just goes and LLC's a company that's like a fund, and then be like, "Hey guys, give me your money." Doesn't work quite that simply when it comes to finance. There's a lot of regulation behind being able to be a person who's certified to run a fund. Because imagine how many people could just go around lying, right? They just open a business with some random name and then just go around telling people like, "Hey, I'm a fucking professional fund manager. Give me your money," and they just take it and disappear or just lose it all and just incinerate it in the market. So at least in Canada, there's like a lot of certification you have to do. You have to do like a lot of courses. Um, and another like issue with that is that what's it called? You have to have banking experience. You have to work in finance, which I don't have. So there's like two options. You can either like work in finance, or you have to have somebody that works in finance in a notable position, like vouch on your behalf, to say that like this person is competent enough to do this. So like fortunately, like I know people in this position that can do that, but I still need to do the courses regardless. So like I can cut out the finance work experience part, but I still need to do the classes. And the thing is, I don't know if I want to do that, right? Because if you talk to anybody that manages money, it's a pain in the ass. It's a huge pain in the ass. Because like, think about it. Like, if someone is giving you their money to manage, it's because they don't know how to manage it themselves, right? And then these people are the ones that also bitch at you for anything that goes wrong or performance is not what they're expecting, etc., etc. It's like it's some fucking dumbass who doesn't know how to invest or trade their money, and then they have the audacity to come bitch at you for what you're doing. So like most likely, if I do end up doing that, the only thing I would do is like a closed-ended fund, where it's like I only take your money if I want to take it. So extremely selective, like a closed-ended fund. Because trading is hard, right? It's like already stressful enough as it is to be planning all this stuff out, being prepared, like knowing what's going on in like all the markets, like international markets as well. So you don't want some like random strangers adding like needless stress to your life, calling you all the time, blah blah blah, right? And not only that, but I don't even know if I'd be effective at it. Like trading a personal account is very different from trading like 9 figures, 10 figures, 11 figures. I'm sure I'd figure it out, right? I'm definitely not someone to like shy away from a challenge and I'll work hard. I mean, you guys see me here streaming nonstop every day, on top of like doing this when I'm not streaming. So like lack of effort is not an issue, but it does take time to learn all that as well. How many figures am I managing right now? Like 8. Between me and my family, 8. I'm not like particularly active with a lot of it either. Like all the stuff I do for my family is just very high time frame stuff. Bro, that's enough. But if you say that, like, why would I want to open a fund then, right? If that's your logic. Because ideally, if you open a fund, like, I mean, the way at least I see it, the whole point of managing a fund is to. There's different strategies, right? There's different strategies that you can do when you have a lot of money that you can't do when you have a little money. Like, I can't sit here and do like a basis trade with like $1,000. It's just not worth it. But if I have like $200 million, then yeah, I can do shit like that. So like the only reason to me to want to like have a fund would be to enable different kind of strategies. I mean, enough to open a fund to prove to investors that you can actually manage it. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I've never really like People have asked me to do it, and like typically I don't. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, right? Everything I say is not financial advice, so on and so forth. Typical disclaimers in the description. But in terms of educational purposes, yeah, I talk to people a lot about what to do and what not to do. And they have inquired about me managing their money for them. But like it's the fact that I'm not like in a position to do so in terms of the licensing, I don't. I mean, most people know how to do something only after starting. It's that's entrepreneurship for you. Yeah, exactly right. Kind of like a trial by fire. A lot better than just kind of sitting there reading shit in a book and thinking you know everything. But there's a lot of intricacies, right, in terms of like running a fund. So you said like your risk management has to be like very different. It's interesting though. It's interesting. If anything, I would want to do some kind of like algorithmic fund. Because that way I can like hire people to like work for me. Because if it's just a fund that I'm trading myself discretionarily, then it's just like I'm just adding a lot of work to myself that I can't offload to others because like they're not in my brain. But if it's like some kind of product that's like being run algorithmically that others can like contribute on, build out alongside me, then it's not as crazy, right? It's like a lot more realistic in terms of spreading the workload. It also seems fun, right? It seems fun. Seems hard though. I was watching some interview with some like algorithmic trader that like someone that does it for like a fund, like a huge fund. And I've even experienced it myself because like so like the algorithms I run typically are like marketing in orders. Because like if it sets the thing if it sets the limit and the price just goes, it doesn't work. So a lot of times like they just market it in. But the bigger your account gets, like the worse that idea becomes because it's like more and more and more slippage over and over and when you get in and out. And they were saying that like 30% of the gains the fund makes are lost to slippage. So like let's say they made 100% gains that year, like 30% of this was lost. It's pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy to think about. Think about it. You can start a discretionary trading firm, onboard a client, do it alone for a few months, onboard quants. That way you could have a few months to build buffer to pay people salaries. Yeah, that seems interesting. Plus, I mean, in Canada at least, there's a lot of like programs for this kind of stuff. Like if you start your own company, um, okay, let's say I start my own company that's an algorithmic trading fund, and the goal of my company is to like develop research that leads to effective algorithmic trading. The government will give you like grants and like pay for salaries for you to do that. And that's like one of many paths of like government assistance when you open a startup. So they really want to incentivize people here to like work in tech and also share their information with the government. Brainwash people to open a firm. I don't even have to. That's the funniest thing about trading to me, right? Is it's like in a typical like tech startup and whatnot, like you have to go out and find clients and like they try my product or whatever, right? When it comes to this like trading shit, like people find you. People come to me. I don't have to go around asking people. Like they hear what I'm doing and they're one they want in, right? It's the other way around. Instead of you calling people, they call you. It's pretty juice, right? Pretty fucking juice. And in terms of like just meeting people, like they don't even care about trading per se, but like most people want to make additional money in their life, right? So when they meet me and they know what I do, they're always interested. It's a pretty cool skill set to have in that regard. Like very sought after. What happens to make a significant name for yourself? No, I wouldn't even say that. Like, sure, if you're talking about like fucking jump trading or like Citadel hunting you down, yeah. But I mean, like within your social circles, like your friends, family, like ex coworkers, friends of friends, people that you know from like your like routinely activities like gym or like hiking, wall climbing, blah blah blah, cycling. It's all the time, right? Like I'll go out with like friends, and there's like friends of friends that they have there that I've never met that like they know about me for that. I guess they talk to me for whatever reason, and they start asking me about trading and blah blah blah, right? But are they that rich, that level rich that we want to manage their funds? Hmm. I don't think that's like irrelevant, right? Who cares? Like whether somebody has like a grand or $10 million, it's like no difference. Either way, it's just adding money to your bankroll. So if I have like 500 people that have $10,000, or like 5 people that have 1 million each, same shit. I'm not sure if the math is equivalent in that example. I was just throwing out random numbers, but like you get what I mean. But at the end of the day, you're just charging some fee, right? Some fee to everybody, and like whether like the pie is like made up of like 20 different slices or like 2 slices, it's still the same full pie with the same perfect fee added on it, right? Whatever you charge, whether it's like 20, like most people do 20 and 2. Managing 1,000 people with 10K. Yeah, I mean, it'd be a bit different in that regard, like, sure. But like, if I had that many people, I'll just be giving out some, like, mm, probably do it the same way regardless. Actually, I just have some like daily like a newsletter that's like mailed out that I like write every day in the morning with like whatever I'm thinking or doing, or like weekly. I don't know what the cadence would be. Because eventually it's like not scalable, right? Like even 5 people having like non-stop communication regularly can get pretty taxing. So I wish I'd like limit it. Like people text me all the time, and like, usually I'll just kind of at some point in the day, usually when I'm at the gym, I like respond to all my texts and whatever, and then I kind of just go dead again, unless it's like something that urgent. That's also different now. That's where what's it called? That's where we start hiring people. And don't have to though if you think about it, right? Like, now I can just like, plug in Gemini 3 and be like, whenever I get a message, just respond to it, right? And if it's something that like needs my actual input, then like forward it to me. And probably that better that way actually think about it, right? Because nowadays you can like automate all the data in your portfolio, like your trade history, so on and so forth. So like the AI would probably do a better job than you, right? Because they're like if they ask some question about like what is performing or what's not performing or what's been cut, whatever, or like did you rebalance the portfolio, it'll like literally spit them out exact everything in detail. Again, now I started doing this. I learned it from what's his face. I think his name's like Miles Dutcher or whatever. Some like crypto Twitter influencer. It's like probably a grifter low key, but we'll ignore that. So he has like an iPad that has the ChatGPT agent open at all times on voice mode. So whenever he's like doing stuff, he'll just say to the agent like, do whatever, like make the schedule for tomorrow and include this, 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 this. I've started doing that. It's pretty useful because now you can also sync it to like all your like your Dropbox, your Google Docs, like your email, like your messages, and it can like search the internet, right? And like read PDFs, so on and so forth. Create PDFs and create infographics for you. Like a lot of times, like I'll like come across something that I want to research, but I'm doing something else. So I'll be like, okay, research this, compile me like a PDF with like the relevant data, like toss in infographics for whatever relevant data, and then when it's done, it's like in my Dropbox, and I just read it. Very useful, very useful. Gemini, whenever I get a message, reply with a Skibidi toilet video. What is that? Skibidi toilet. What is this?
On What the heck is going on
Oh my gosh.
Oh, help me, please, somebody.
I'd probably do it just for the lulz, right? Just one day, just kind of to troll people. Like one day when the market's like down bad and people are freaking out, I just fucking put that thing as an auto response. Marcos, where's my money? And then this sends that video out. Later. Oh man. Or it can be like that oil guy who like lost all the money, started crying, made a video crying about it on Twitter while he had his Rolex on, wiping his tears with a gold handkerchief. Would be interesting. The thing is, I don't know, like, like if I had to like weigh up like the path in life of like working in tech, developing something new, like some like I don't know, some kind of cure for cancer using AI or like anti-aging or like something in like the longevity slash AI niche, or like augmented reality, virtual reality is like another example. And then like I had to pick between like these, and then like just kind of like having a bigger ball of money to trade with. Like these seem way more interesting, right? Like it would be fun to dedicate time to coming up with like efficient algorithms to manage like very large amounts of money. It's an interesting problem to approach, and one that's like no final goal. Like it's always changing. But I think these would be more interesting, at least to me. That's why I want to become like a venture capitalist. That's like kind of the plan in some regard. Venture capitalist slash angel investor type role. Or both, right? Maybe do both. Kind of work on this while I invest in these. Shark Tank type shit. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Cause like I like tech a lot, right? Like I didn't quit my job because I didn't like it or anything. It's just that I needed more time to put towards trading. But I've always found it interesting. And even now, when it comes to like investing and whatnot, like when I'm looking at like what companies to invest in and what the narrative is headed towards and what's happening globally, I'm always reading about what's happening in tech, right? Or like in health sciences, biology, chemistry, right? Like learning about like the energy sector, stuff like that. Like, I find it very interesting. So it'd be cool to like invest in companies that I see with potential to like blow up in this sense. Look up 100x BC. 100x BC. Top pre-seed. Top pre-seed and C-stage Indian or VC fund for Indian what? You know what? Doesn't even say. And the other thing about this stuff is the gains, right? Like you'll invest in like 100 different projects and like 95 fail, and then the five that like work just fucking grow your net worth exponentially. The CEO is a close friend of mine. Can link you up if you want to connect. Sure, I'm gonna have to do more due diligence, but it's interesting. Do they only invest in like emerging markets like India and whatnot? Told me the same thing. It's usually how it works, right? I mean, like obviously, like if like there's like a, I aspire to be somebody that's not doing that, right? Like a 5% success rate. Ideally, I'm like a bit more selective, a bit more methodical, and the hit rate's higher. Maybe that's unrealistic, or I've never been in the space. Maybe me saying that is being like overly ambitious, and it's a lot harder. But I like to think that like when I see something that like really makes me think like, wow, like those are the ones you go for. Most of the teams in India, so they only invest in India as of now. Well, I'm not a fan of their website being busted, I'll tell you that much. Tell you that much. Their YouTube is no longer active. Like if you go to their portfolio on the website, it doesn't work. Seems interesting though. Also, the apply now button on their website does not work either. Takes you to a broken page. Incredibly suspicious, right? Kind of things leave a bad taste in my mouth right away. Like if I worked there and I saw that, I'd be raging, right? Like what the fuck is this bullshit? They're supposed to be like a professional website. The fuck is this bullshit? I'll take my phone 1 sec. Thing is, I already algorithmically trade, so I already got that on lock. You feel me? Already got the game on lock. Not a portfolio though. I just algorithmically, I can't even speak. Algorithmically trade like singular assets in like one direction per algorithm. So like long only Bitcoin, short only Bitcoin, on different time frames. We're gonna start breaking out here, or what? Or what? Or what? Or what? But so the thing about like algorithmic trading, or at least like high frequency trading, it's like a very hard space to get into. Very hard. And I don't mean that in terms of like an intelligence thing. I mean in terms of like the infrastructure build out required to effectively compete in that field. Like I know someone that manages the market making execution at like the biggest bank in the country where I live, and they spend like $30 million a year upgrading their infrastructure, just the infrastructure for trading yearly. And on top of that, they are located right next to the exchange, like physical location. So they're always gonna have like a latency edge on you. And that's the case for like all the top like high frequency trading funds. Like whether it's in Chicago or like the New York or Toronto, or like I'm sure it's the same thing in like Japan, China, or so on and so forth. Like all the top firms are literally right next to the exchange. Like direct fiber lines and whatnot. Bum, 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 bum. I'm curious if any of them aren't, right? That'd be pretty fascinating. I'm looking it up right now. Doesn't seem like it though. Yeah, apparently, I mean, according to this, like Gemini and ChatGPT, it's the same thing. No elite high frequency trading firm is not co-located next to the exchange. I guess in regards to high frequency trading, right? Obviously, you can do algorithmic trading that's not like in that niche. Probably in crypto, it's a lot more realistic to do it. You can like get like a AWS cluster near the whatever service you're using. Interesting. Any questions or no? We're not. We're gonna be leaving here pretty soon. I think we're getting out of here like 2:30ish, the latest probably. Is everyone planned, prepared, know what's going on? We're not. We're not. We're not. Chillin'. Yeah, how's your trading going? I'm surprised you don't just do like a prop firm or something. Yes, I do prop. How'd you do that? I mean, it makes sense though. When you're describing that one gold trade to me, I mean, whatever. I guess I don't know enough about your strategy, but it just seems so risky, high risk. Yeah, these prop runs are pretty ridiculous. So I was looking at one the other day, cause I keep seeing ads for it, right? Like the one that Trader Main made, like Breakout Prop Fund or whatever it's called. These people must be printing money off these tests. Cause for a $200,000 account, they charge you $1,000 to do the test. 1,500. And if suppose that you pass, then you keep 80% of the profit. And I was looking at the stats for this. I think Top Step released the stats. It's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. I forgot what the number was, but like, from the people that like took the test, where is it? Where's my trading view? Okay, this is the people that pay to do the test, right? And then this is the people that like pass the test. And this is the people that like make it to like get a payout after passing. And this is like the people that get like make it to like a live funded account. And it was literally a massive pyramid like this, and the bottom of the pyramid was like fucking like 0.01% of people. And even the payout was like extremely small, like sub 1% or something. Maybe it was like the 1 to 2%. I don't even think it was 20%. I think that seems extremely high. Top Step stats. Can I find the image? Yeah, so these are the stats. 3.5% of people made it to the payout, and 0.1% made it to funded. So this was like 3%, and this was dropped to 0.1. Why this frowny face? Trade with 5%ers? What, like 5% risk per trade? We'll get there one day. I'm already there. I don't even gotta use this garbage. But like you have to realize like this like data set is like skewed, right? Because like, who's trying to use funded accounts? People that don't know how to trade, don't have money. So obviously most of these people are not gonna make it down here. So like I wouldn't look at those stats and be like discouraged by it, right? Because you have to realize like who the subset of humans that these stats are being derived from is. User legend, me beginner. Same shit, same shit. I'm not doing anything that's particularly difficult, right? All like common sense for the most part. The thing is, like, from what I'm not gonna tell, it's the same thing, right? Like, okay, I have to browse X a lot, right? Because I have to see information that's like can be relevant to what's happening. But in that process of consuming information, I'm forced to read a lot of like garbage posts, right? All of like traders get automatically shown in the feed, blah blah blah. And it seems to me like most people don't care to actually learn how to trade, right? They're just trying to learn off somebody else on Twitter. They don't put the time in themselves to like go back test, go do this, read this book, whatever. And then they're just kind of spinning their wheels in mud. Or they like switch from like one way of trading to another, to another, to another, to another. instead of just like sticking to something that they like and iterating on it. Like for instance, like lately I've been watching the Qualamagi guy a lot, and he swings trades on the higher time frames with just the moving averages, the 10, 20, 50. That's it. He looks for stocks that have like high average daily ranges that made him move up, or they made him move down, and then they're like reclaiming these moving averages and making consolidation patterns. And whenever they break out, that's his trade. Not particularly complicated, right? Also very straightforward in terms of like not having to use the indicators or anything of that nature, just 3 moving averages. Same with Bollinger Band traders. I've been looking at a lot of Bollinger Band traders. That's all they use. They just toss on the Bollinger Bands, and then they're on their way. So what I realize, people take a new strategy and they stick to it for 5 days. Then think they're adding a new thing, it starts failing. You switch to new strategies. You gotta stick to ship long enough that starts working for you. I won't even say that. Like it's more so how do I describe this? Okay, suppose that you have some. Let's say you're trading using the Bollinger Bands, for example, and you're like testing it for a few days. Most people don't even collect the data of what they're doing, right? So they don't even know how effective it actually is or isn't. But then when they start throwing other stuff on top of it, you're not like fucking with the original data set, because you're no longer operating off the data that you collected for the Bollinger Bands. You're using data for like Bollinger Bands and something else, right? And like the more ands that you add on it, the more and statements, the same as the coding, like this and this and this and this, you're like adding more noise, because like there's sometimes the Bollinger Bands will fire, sometimes the EMA will be firing, sometimes the other thing will be firing, and then before you know it, like you always have some fucking indicator firing off that you should be taking the trade or whatever, right? Or like a setup for that indicator is forming. Like, that's why I don't really like rely on indicators too much, in the sense of like I don't trade like, okay, my algorithmic trading is like kind of based on like signals firing on indicators, or like certain data thresholds being met. When it comes to my discretionary trading, I don't really use any indicators, right? Like we just turn this stuff off. All the chaos on the chart. Where's this thing? Where's the tab now? Oh. Turn this thing off. Like, all I have is the TPO and the VRBP. And the rest is just like data, right? Looking at the order flow, looking at like the liquidity heat maps, watching the order book, watching like the DOM, like the tape. Bum, bum, bum. And that's like what most day traders do. Like, most day traders are using like the volume range profile. At least from what I've seen. There's some that don't. Like they'll just have like a higher time frame levels marked out, kind of like, they'll have like this as like a support level, right, when it's forming. And then like they'll like take the retest of it if it gets retested from the downside, or they'll take like the structure breaks. Lots of ways to do things, right? Lots of different ways to do shit. Supply and demand type shit. I mean, it's all what it comes down to in the day. Like, That's all it is. It's all it comes down to. It's what people don't like really realize. It's like everything is just supply demand. And like if this is imbalanced or not, and when it's imbalanced. Because like a lot of times, what am I looking for? Like prices coming down towards like a level of interest. I'm literally just looking at the order flow, and I'm looking at like is the aggressive buying like increasing or not as we get into this level, and is the aggressive selling like falling off as we get to this level? Because like this right away tells you like the flow of money is changing, right, from one theme to the other. And then if I start to see that like the oscillators are like fucking getting overcooked, and so on and so forth, or like a bunch of like shorts open down here, thinking we're about to go break the lows. And the other thing as well that you know, one thing I noticed as well, like the lower time frame you go, the more you have to nerd out. If you're trading on the higher time frames, you don't need to nerd out nearly as much. And the other thing about the higher time frame stuff is like the moves are more meaningful. Because like let's say you're trading Bitcoin, right? And you're trading like a breakdown of this range. Like right here, for example, when we're about to start losing this level. Like, how do I describe this? Okay, when this breakdown is happening from this range, everyone is trading this breakdown. It's not just people on the 1 minute or the 2 minute. Like the 1 minute traders are trading the breakdown. The 2 minute traders are trading the breakdown. The 5 minute traders are trading the breakdown. 30-minute traders, hourly trader, 4-hour trader, daily trader, weekly trader, monthly trader, they're all trading this fucking breakdown level. So the entire market is just taking this trade with you. Whereas if you're on the fucking 1 minute, like you're only trading with like 1 minute traders, 2 minute traders typically, if you're in the middle of just some random range. So that's why these like higher time frame moves out of ranges are like so powerful, because the entire market is looking at it and trading it with you, regardless of the time frame. The problem is it takes patience, right? Most people don't want to wait around for like a fucking multi-month range breakout to like open a trade with size. But sometimes that's what you gotta do, right? Especially if you're swing trading. Like me, I do everything, every kind of trading, so I'm like aware of this shit. But then usually that's when I put on the most size into my trades, when we have these higher time frame moves for that specific reason. As you said, there are people making money with EMA, and there are people making money with the most complex shit, 100 factors. You need to collect so much data to be one of those people. To an extent, to an extent. It's like, for instance, like there's just some things now. Okay, I used to collect data on a lot of stuff, but now like, you just know, right? From me sitting here and looking at it, like I don't have to collect data all the time to know. Like I can just go. Like the other day, where was it? Where was it? Like I made some random indicator I saw. Was it ATR? Why did the music stop? I was like, I made this and I was like back testing it visually with my eyes. Like obviously I could code this if I wanted to in Python. But right away you can tell just from looking at it, right? If you look for like signals in the red, you know it's a high probability signal. Like I'm not gonna sit here and scroll back through it now because you did on stream the other day. But like reversions to this red zone was a very high likely that, or like a move to this red zone was a very high probability reversion. I don't need to sit there and like collect data on absolutely everything, right? You can just kind of tell from seeing it yourself. If you witness enough sample sizes yourself and you can remember. But ideally, yeah, ideally you do collect data on stuff, right? I still do. I have just like a big spreadsheet of like trades and whatnot. And I like collect data on like divergences, etc. on different time frames. And I'm still collecting more data as we go now. Like for instance, I saw a pretty interesting thing the other day. Where was it? Just make a new thing. SMH on the weekly, and they had the moving average, right? So like you can create like a distribution around the moving average, right? So like for instance, like this person that collected data on the moving average, and like how far price goes away from it. So in this case, it was like 100%. In this case, it was like the same thing, 100%. In this case, it's the same story, right? Whoops. So each time it is straight 100% away from the 200 moving average, it ended up having like a huge reversion. Not to say that that's guaranteed to happen, but like pretty strong data point and seems to be playing out so far, right? And you can do this for like any moving average on any time frame. So I've been like coding that, collecting data on that. There's a lot of edge to be derived, right? Think about it. You can take it doesn't matter what data you use. You can come up with whatever data point you want. Like if you can come up with some kind of distribution of it afterwards and see how likely it is to play out. Like when you find things that occur at the tail ends, they usually lead to pretty strong reversions with high probability. So like sure, you take these trades 100 times, yeah, it might fail a couple, but in the grand scheme of things, it's usually a winning, at least a winning entry, we'll say. An entry we can get in and get break even. And you can do that for anything. You can literally make any indicator you want. You can use any existing indicator you want. Put whatever settings you want on the indicator, right? You can do like the fucking 269, 420 moving average. Use the RSI with whatever settings you want, blah blah blah, right? It's like an infinite amount of things you can do and collect data on. And then create some kind of statistical model around it. But most people don't do that, right? Most people don't do that. They don't put on the work. They're just trying to go online and find whatever guru, furus on YouTube and X talking about this, that. Guys, this is my 100% guaranteed trade setup. Blah, blah, blah. My inverted fair value gap. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun watching this Qualamagi guy. Just straightforward. Same with, what's his face? I don't know if you guys ever watched the chart guys on YouTube, but the charting man Dan, I think his name is. Same kind of thing. That guy trades with just these two moving averages. The 12 and the 26. And on all time frames too. Which is typically the case with the moving averages, right? Like the same kind of logic applies on all of the time frames. Yeah, in general, I mean, TLDR of all that whole rant, higher time frame typically going to be better results. Because on the lower time frame you go, the more noise you're introducing in terms of like an individual entity moving the market. Whereas like for the price to move in a higher time frame, generally the whole market has to have some kind of consensus that it wants to move that way. Because it takes a lot of money to move the market. Whereas if you're trading like the 1 second tick chart, like I go in here right now and I market smash like a $5 billion trade on Bitcoin, the chart's gonna go up. And then somebody else comes and market sells 10 million, chart's going down. There's no strategy around that. Unless you have a crystal ball and can predict the future. In which case, let me know. Bang my line. With that said, though, you can trade lower time frames, right? Don't get me wrong, you can trade lower time frames. I'm not saying you cannot do it. Ass value crack. Yeah, I think we're gonna be wrapping this up pretty soon, though. Right before we break up, potentially. Very curious if we start to go from here, right? See, we were looking pretty strong on the initial bounce, and kind of just started to do one of these things, and then failed, which kind of the typical math behind these triangles. But we've held the 382 so far, right? We're kind of building value above the 382. I mean, relatively strong on the lower time frame. Can it actually translate and carry over to the medium and higher time frame though? Or not? Or not? Or not? Or not? So far, this 886 balance is holding though, right? So far, plan prepared, right? Talk about this for like the whole week. Bing! Later, later, later. Goddamn, goddamn. Anyways, you guys got any questions or not? We're not. We're about to get out of here. I'm gonna go to the gym, enjoy my weekend, relax, get ready for tomorrow. Futures resume. When's FOMC? It's coming up pretty soon, yeah? FOMC is not that far. The last time we had FOMC literally was at the tippity top of the market. Can we finally start going the other way from there or not? We're not. I've been along since 84452. 84452. What'd you take like interesting? 85250. Oh, I'm going way past. 250. Oh, this? What's even... how'd you get in on this thing? The risk reward seems a bit off on that. I mean, I don't know where you put your stop, I guess. I mean, I'm in a long as well from like lower than that, and like I shave pretty aggressively. So like I can like handle a drawdown here with while being break even still. But I'm targeting higher than that though. Targeting higher than that. Like most of the high time frame liquidity, or I guess not high time frame, but like the medium time frame, it's up here. And we have like the poor high up here. So planning to try and juice that. A little bit here as well, but most of it's up here. I just don't know if we get there on the weekend. Also, like we close up here on CME, like right by this candle. I think it's like here. So like whether we go up or down from here, there's gonna be like a big CME gap forming. So quite likely we're gonna come back down towards this area tomorrow in the afternoon. Eight, 4, 3, 5, 9 is my stop. Yeah, there's a wick, I guess. Yeah. Hopefully it works out. Pretty tight trade. We'll say that. If you had been watching, you would have been in here, right? At that imaginary yellow line as usual. Pixel perfect juicing. Got that juice. They also gave it the retest on this thing. Right, the golden pocket. Yeet. Yeet. I'm not even from down here though. If I had been awake, yeah, I probably would have been around this zone. Because this was like the 886, and we had been talking about this stuff for a while. It's the weekly level, the bottom of this value range, blah blah blah. So like this was like the ideal kind of time to get in. But it was at night, right? It was in the middle of the night. So I ended up getting up like on the VWAP reclaim, wherever it was at the time. What was it? Yeah, like in this range. Then I shaved up here, and now I'm just chilling. And I have my short going from higher still. So we're kind of got both sides of the trade covered right now. Coolin', relaxing, time to enjoy the weekend. Oh man, I'm so sore. I'm about to go to the gym and just stretch for like 20 minutes. Oh my gosh. I need to go get a massage. That's what I need to do. A deep tissue massage. My neck is sore, my back is sore. It's because I'm so jacked. That's the problem, right? too much muscle. Can't even wipe my ass. God damn, god damn. Only get one post salary. Oh, I'd imagine they're pretty cheap there, right? I mean, if everything is cheap, I'd imagine so are massages. So why would that be like excluded from that? Yeah, definitely worthwhile though. Like, I used to not be a massage person. What's it called? Like, well, one, didn't grow up like some like family that gets massages. Secondly, when I worked, I just never cared to get them. And I always thought, like, my logic was, okay, I feel perfectly fine in good health as is. So if I go get a massage and I feel way better afterwards, then my idea of perfectly fine is no longer valid. Like, I'm gonna feel like I compelled to always get massages. And I stuck with that for the longest time. But then after like kind of doing like a deep dive into like massage research and whatnot, and like the health benefits it has regardless of how you feel, if you need one or not, I was like, okay, probably do these on a regular basis. Because there are a lot of like benefits to it, right? Also, I stretch a lot more now at the gym. I'll have like dedicated days where I just go and literally just stretch and do all kinds of like weird movements that you don't normally do. So you don't become stiff, don't become limber. You can be active, play sports, blah blah blah. It's important, right, guys? Health is number one, right? If I can say anything to you guys, health is number one, right? No point in having like $20 million if you're just about to die, can't do anything. So, health is wealth. Most billionaires, like on their deathbed, would trade it all to have their health back. Easiest trade of your life, some might say. In terms of a juice box, though, I mean, not really much to have, right? In terms of a juice box, ain't really a whole lot to talk about. If I die, please put me in an LV thing. Yeah. Shout out to the LV, right? Shout out to the Louis stock. Are you guys are out there buying Louis bags? I'm out here buying Louis fucking stock, boy. we were talking about this in the summer. Remember who was here in the summer stream when we were buying at the lows? This shit's up 40 fucking percent already, boy. Boy. A lot of water. Yeah, it worked out pretty good, right? This trade worked out pretty good. So shout out to Louis Vuitton. I don't know if we're even gonna do a juice box, to be honest. Nothing has really changed from yesterday. How's the order book looking? Out of curiosity. Kind of typical weekend stuff, it seems like, right? A big buy wall right here. There's like a big sell wall right above us right now. Kind of usual weekend stuff. Curious if you end up going through one of these or not. But yeah, I mean, we already covered everything yesterday essentially. So if anything, just go watch yesterday's stream to talk about this stuff. Does seem like we are itching to break out here though, right? That's stuff we were talking about earlier. Like we're doing one of these, then now we're doing like one of these. Double bottomed here. Now we're doing like another flag here. Seems like they're itching to break out to the upside, right? So we're seeing some signs of strength in the lower time frames. But doesn't mean much though, right? We've had this happen multiple times and just ended up getting fucking spanked, right? Bears gave us a fucking spanking right back down. Happened multiple times. So wouldn't look too much into imaginary patterns on the chart. Actually pay attention to the data. And as of now, right, pretty low volume, typical weekend stuff, with two big orders above and below, kind of keeping price contained. I'm just looking around, see if there's anything interesting worth noting. Because I would say, like, yeah, sure, maybe you might want to entertain, because we didn't talk about taking the breakout of this level yesterday. You could entertain that, I suppose. I wouldn't be too keen on it, though, because there's a lot of liquidity, like, right here, with, like, a yellow line right here. So there's a world where you trade the breakout and it immediately comes right back into the range. So if anything, go for the bullish retest, right? Kind of talked about this yesterday. The bullish retest of the value area high. Don't get got, don't get baited on the breakout. Other than that, nothing particularly interesting in terms of the data. Let's just look at the order flow. Yeah. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll just kind of say, just go watch yesterday's stream when we did this, if anything. Nothing's really changed in that regard. So we'll leave that. We'll do a quick chat shout out and get out of here, right? It's a bit of a shorter stream today. But we'll be back tomorrow, usual time, for like a full length ping. Getting ready for the week. So shout out to Harshal, right? I think that's it in the chat. Harshal coming through and yapping. Shout out to Harshal. And yeah, maybe I'll be on later today. We'll see. Like if we got some volatility and I'm not doing anything, like no plans develop, then yeah, I might come hang out and stare at my computer, do whatever. Probably not though. If it's gonna be like this, or I end up having plans to go out, then like fuck it, I'm just not gonna bother. But tomorrow we'll be back. Till then, I'm out of here though. Stay safe, right? Don't get got, don't get liquidated. Yap session indeed. It was good. It was good. Always enjoy when Harshal comes through. Show to you. Until then, we will see each other again next time. I am out of here. Later. Later, later. Later, later.